All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to crack the code on a math topic that, let's be honest, can look a little scary: factorizing quadratic expressions. My goal is super simple. By the end of this, you'll see it's really just a puzzle, and I'm going to give you the key to solve it every single time. Yeah, does seeing something like this make your head spin just a little bit? If it does, you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you it's nowhere near as complicated as it looks? It's actually a puzzle that you're solving in reverse. And this right here is the whole secret. Factorizing is just the opposite of expanding brackets. I'm sure you've multiplied two brackets together before, right? You end up with that longer expression. Well, today, we're just learning how to start with that long expression and work our way backward to find the two original brackets. See? Simple. So, to put a fancy name on it, that process is called factorization. It's just about finding those two original puzzle pieces, the two simple expressions in their own brackets that multiply together to make the more complex thing you started with. Now, to make solving this puzzle way, way easier, we're going to use this fantastic little tool I call the multiplication frame. Seriously, think of it as our secret weapon. It keeps everything neat, tidy, and super organized. The entire method, the whole thing, just boils down to these three simple steps. That's it. First, we place the first and last parts of our expression into the frame. Second, we find the factors for those numbers. And third, the most important step, we check our work to see if we found the right combination. Place, factor, check. You got this. All right, enough talk. Let's actually solve one together. We'll start with a real classic, x squared plus 7x plus 10. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through every single move we make. First up, step 1, place. It's easy. We take that first term, the x squared, and pop it in the top left box. Then we grab the last term, that positive 10, and put it in the bottom right. Boom, our frame is all set up and ready to go. Okay, on to step 2, factor. Now, the factors for x squared are pretty simple, right? It's just going to be x and x. But what about 10? We need to think of pairs of numbers that multiply to make 10. Well, we've got 1 times 10, and we've got 2 times 5. Those are our options. And now for step 3, check. This is where the magic happens. Let's try our first pair, 1 and 10. We'll place them on the frame, and then we cross-multiply. So x times 10 is 10x, and x times 1 is 1x. If we add those together, we get 11x. Is that our middle term? Nope, we're looking for 7x. So this combo is wrong. And that's totally fine. Let's just try our other option. All right, let's try that other pair, 2 and 5. Time to do the check again. We cross-multiply. X times 5 gives us 5x, and x times 2 gives us 2x. Now, what is 5x plus 2x? It's 7x. That is exactly the middle term we were looking for. We found our match. Yes! Now we can finally write our answer. You just read it right off the frame. The terms along the top, x and 2, make our first bracket, x plus 2. And the terms down the side, x and 5, make our second one, x plus 5. And there you have it. We've successfully factorized it. Okay, I know you might be thinking, that's great for all positive numbers, but what about negatives? That is an excellent question. So let's tackle an expression with some negatives and see how the exact same method holds up perfectly. So our new problem is x squared minus 8x plus 12. Okay, notice something here. The middle term is negative, but the last term is positive. How can we multiply to get a positive 12 but add up to a negative 8? Well, the key is to remember that a negative times a negative equals a positive. So let's try two negative factors, like negative 2 and negative 6. Let's do the check. X times negative 6 is negative 6x. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. And what's negative 6x plus negative 2x? It's negative 8x. It is a perfect match. See? The system works. All right. You've seen me do 2 of these now. We've walked through all the logic. I honestly think you're ready to try one completely on your own. Don't worry, the steps are exactly the same. You've got this. So here is your mission. I want you to factorize x squared plus x minus 20. I'll give you a little hint. You're looking for two numbers that multiply to make negative 20, which means one has to be positive and one has to be negative. Go ahead and pause right here, draw your own little multiplication frame, and give it your best shots. Welcome back. So how did it go? The correct factors were positive 5 and negative 4. Let's see why real quick. 5 times negative 4 gives us that negative 20 we needed.
And for the check, x times -4 is -4x, and x times 5 is 5x. When you add them together, 5x minus 4x gives us 1x, or just x, and that's our middle term. So the final answer is x plus 5 times x minus 4. If you got that, fantastic work.
Okay, you've handled positives, you've handled negatives, you just solved one all by yourself. You are really getting the hang of this. So, are you ready to see just how powerful this simple little method really is? Ready for a challenge? Okay, look at this thing. This is where the power of the multiplication frame just blows my mind. This monster of an expression. It looks absolutely terrifying, right? But guess what? The exact same 3 steps, place, factor, check, are all you need to solve it. You don't need some new, complicated method. The fundamental process never, ever changes. I'm serious. You should give yourself a pat on the back. In just a few minutes, you've gone from maybe feeling a little uncertain about these things to tackling them with a system that works every time. You really are a factorizing pro. So, as we start to wrap up here, let's just quickly go over the most important things to remember. Let's just boil it all down to 4 key ideas. First, always remember that factorizing is just expanding in reverse. Second, please use the multiplication frame. It's your best friend for keeping things organized. Third, it's always those same 3 steps: place, factor, and check. And finally, never forget that this one simple method works for everything, from the easy problems to the ones that look like absolute monsters.
You came here today to figure out factorization, and you have absolutely cracked the code. You've learned a seriously powerful new skill. So the real question now is, feeling this confident, what other math challenges are you ready to take on next? Thanks for learning with me today.